what's up, everybody? It's the boy from Demon King again. I'm with Craig. How you doing, mate?
How you good, man? Yourself?
This time we're talking about gaming PCs. So tell us about what's the steps for building starting or building gaming PCs.
Well, money. But yeah, for a gaming PC, your primary focus is power. So you need a good GPU and a good CPU and a good amount of RAM, and then you can start from there.
Well, when you're starting with a PC, what type of things do you need to use?
You can use anything. You can start with the most basic gear. Don't let all the flashy, expensive mouse, keyboard, and all that kind of stuff determine what you do. I started our PC gaming with, when it was first created, back in the 80s. So we had ball mice and everything like that, So it's just, it's to have fun. So don't focus on all of that so much. Just focus on getting everything built up so you can actually start playing games. So you can start basic and work your way up from there, from like what I've done. It took years to build and then continuously upgrading over time, but only one piece at a time when you can afford it,
What was the gaming like back in the days?
My first gaming computer was hooked up to our TV, which was the old Cafe Ray. It was a big box, no remote. And the games ran off cassette tapes, like the music cassette tapes. Yeah, and you used to have to flip them over to side B and continue to go.
It's like the school I went to for primary school. The computer was so old. I was like, oh my god, wow, sheesh. It's a bit like one of them floppy disks.
Kind of, yeah. Games did come on the big floppy disks.
Oh yeah. Because like back in the days, they had like old school computer gamings back in the days.
Yeah, one of my favourites was Indiana Jones, and it came on like 7 of them.
Oh yeah.
So you had to change it every time you went to a different section. It was so cool.
That is understandable. Yeah. What sort of work will you do for technology?
Well, you've seen what I do at work with the drones and things like that.
Yes.
IT. I used to be in IT, kind of still am, but for 20 plus years, I've always tinkered with them and fixed them.
Oh yeah.
That's where my passion came from.
Nice.
But I do photo editing, video editing on this machine as well as gaming.
Yeah.
So it's a multi-use. That's the good thing about computers.
Multi-use.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So you can do all kinds of stuff. I watch movies on there and
wow.
TV shows.
Whoa.
And
wow, that's amazing.
it's not just for gaming.
So it's like it's like a TV screen too.
Yeah, with the ultra wide, man, it's awesome. Just sitting back in the dark, headphones on.
Headphones on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And just watching.
That's the way, mate.
Yeah.
So when you're playing sort of games, what type of things did you use for gamings?
So the inputs and things like that.
Yeah.
So your typical is your mouse and your keyboard. You can use controllers, sticks, depending on the game, steering wheels.
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard is usually the preferred PC peripheral of choice.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So your mouse makes you look. That's where you look, and your keyboard is where you walk and jump, and
that's understandable.
Depending on the game, yeah. Controllers are definitely a lot better for like fighting games and
that is true.
Racing games.
Yeah, it's say for instance you're playing Tekken 7, that probably involves a controller because it's mostly a hands-on game. Yeah. What kind of things do you use to build in a PC?
To build it, you first need to make sure you buy the correct compatible parts.
Yes.
Because not everything works with everything.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you choose your brand of CPU. Now this is very important. You either go AMD or Intel.
Oh, okay.
They're the only two people that make them, and I've gone AMD this time just because cheaper and outperforming Intel. Because Intel have had the market for so long. It's about time someone kicked their butts. Really, it's not that hard. You can follow YouTube videos these days, and all the manual it comes with, or ask someone who knows how to build them, like me.
What's the first computer you have built?
I actually didn't build it. I was probably about 13 years old, and it cost $6,000. And my dad worked his absolute butt off to get it to us to provide, because he, new things these days.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but my very first PC I built was a vanilla box. None of the RGB existed or anything like that. It was just a plain white-looking box, and it was I think it was a Intel Pentium 2 back in the day, slot loaded as well. The CPU actually sat in a cartridge into the motherboard. Was quite cool, and that was probably about, I'd say, 25 years ago, easy. Yeah.
What kind of specs can you get from like my computer, for instance? They can't play certain games. Is there like certain things you need to use to play certain games?
Yeah, a game will always have its minimum and recommended specs at the bottom of the sale page or on the back of the box. And they're a good guide to find out exactly what type of games you're going to be playing, and then you can build from there.
Yeah.
But usually you want, I don't know, a mid-range CPU, 16 gigs of RAM at least, and a GPU up in the, this is only a 1070, so this is 3 generations old.
Yeah.
So, you can get away with that, 1070. You can pick those up pretty cheap.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's understandable, yeah. Should we do a demonstration?
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to see? Do you want to see one of my favourite games? I've got it loaded now.
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah. So this game is about, funnily enough, a pandemic that was released on the world called Green Poison.
Green Poison? Wow.
And you're part of an elite squad that was activated by the US government, sleeper cells, to restore order. It's a third-person shooter, so it does have violence and things like that. But, we're all adults here.
That's very true.
Yeah. So it's a looter shooter, so you go around and find new weapons, new gear and things like that. And save people and...
Yeah. It's a bit like when you're playing assassin games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also got... what have we got?
Wow.
Little drone, of course, being me. I've got to have a drone.
That's understandable.
There we are.
Craig, the drone master.
That's it. There's my little drone.
Yeah. So when you're playing, how will you run smoothly with the games?
Yeah. So you might not want it. You might want it. I mean, everyone wants it to look really cool, but sometimes you've got to dial that down to get the frames. So you want frames per second. So FPS. Funnily enough. So you may need to sacrifice a few things. So in the settings of each game, you always got a graphics option.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I've got them custom set at the moment. You can use some defaults. Yeah. So ultra high, medium, low, and you go down here. You turn shadow quality off. Down low. I've got everything down low. My rig's not the most powerful, but I like to have it smooth. So I'll sacrifice the way it looks to get that smoothness, because if it's not smooth, your eyes start to hurt after a while.
It's like when there's a game called Cyberpunk 2077. Apparently, it's now also a PS5 game. Apparently,
yes.
So when they first started the game, like for the PS4, the problem was they started her early, but the reason why, like, the headhunters wanted to release earlier so the people can play it, but what they didn't realize, it started bugging out, it started glitching and all that. And it still does that still for the PS5, because there's a lot of things. If you go to settings, and you probably have to sacrifice things if you want a quality game. Like Craig said, not always will run smoothly, or it will probably sometimes run smoothly. It just depends how you're playing a game and all that, and see how it runs.
Personal preference, yeah.
Yeah. What's the word of advice you can give for like people who start out with gaming PCs?
Is it for you? You know what I mean?
That is true, yes.
Yeah. What you can get out of a gaming console is pretty impressive these days. You can use your TV that you've already got. When you come to gaming PCs, as you can see, you need a lot of other things to go with them. It's just not a matter of just getting a computer and going. You need a monitor, keyboard, mouse.
If PC is not for you, then it's understandable. But it is for you, then you can ask a lot of people like Craig who can, build your PCs for you and all that kind of stuff. And if you just ask nicely, then pretty much.
But there's a lot of people out there who are willing to offer their skills and their knowledge.
That's true, yeah.
To get more people into this, it's very minimal.
That is true. Yes, it is. Yes.
It's a bit of a community, hey?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of communities out there.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the headphones, and like I said before, like and subscribe, and shoot it like a zombie.